we keeping it light. We're gonna try to keep it light now. You know what I'm saying? I think my final close last night I said that things gotta be put to silence and spoken on in different environments. And for now, my YouTube environment gonna revolve around sports and relationship talk, like everyday occurrences, but not nothing too in depth. You feel me? So let's talk this sports, man. I just went ahead and you know what I'm saying, on some fun, like little friendly fun thing, you know what I'm saying, with the guys. Went ahead and guessed on some teams that I think might win. And it's always tricky with the NFL, bro. Like, and I'm gonna make sure I don't get too deep in talking about the NFL as far as certain theories or whatnot. But I be cool on the NFL sometimes, man. Cause them games be certain things be happening, bro. And I just be like, what? Like perfect example, bro. Last week I wanted to speak on it when it originally happened, but everybody was getting Aaron Rodgers all these flowers and stuff. They were acting like Aaron Rodgers is balling. And I'm like, Aaron Rodgers looked stiff, looked like he had on cement shoes. He looked like an old man. The most impressive thing about that game to me versus Jets was he was able to take a hit. You feel me? That's always gonna be impressive. But outside of that, he was a statue in the pocket. And I would say to the Jets, I would let that returner go. He would have got cut that night. He would have got demoted to the practice squad, and I'm gonna tell you why. It ain't just because he made a fumble that cost the game. Hell, Derrick Henry made a fumble that cost the game, but he ran the whole game to win the game. So he was doing his thing. But I'm talking about the reason I would let bro go is because if you look at that play where he fumbled, right? He careless with the ball. He slanging it bit like that. He creating it like he doing a crossover or something. He get it punched out, right? They go down. Mind you, they just scored. So all you gotta do is really just hold on, ball protection, bro. It ain't like you Dante Hall or your boy out of Florida, out of Miami, man. I can't think of his name. Devin Hester. You ain't one of them guys, bro. We don't expect you to bring. You ain't Charlie Ward, like not Charlie Ward, but Peter Ward. We don't expect you to run the ball back 100 yards. Get this damn ball up, Phil, or just go ahead and fair catch it. Do something, bro. But we up. Last thing we need is special teams turning the ball over. Special teams mean you barely on the team. What's up, Ocean Blues? Ocean Blues say hi. Special team mean you barely got a roster spot. You a step over practice squad. So we don't need you turning the rock over. And they just go. I'm talking about Pittsburgh last week versus on the Jets. So, bro, go ahead and turn the rock over. Mind you, Aaron was looking bad that game to me. Like, he had one good drive. He was looking awful. I was thinking, man, I feel bad for Mike Tomlin because Mike Tomlin never wanted Kenny Pickett. That was a waste of a year or two. He never wanted to draft him. I just said, well, I just give me a light. How about that? Because you clearly might not be deaf or something because I just shouted you out when you came in the room, fam. So, anyway, point is, he ain't never want Kenny Pickett. And I'm saying to myself, man, y'all need to cut Mike Tomlin a break because the man is in the playoffs every year. You know how many, and I like the Raiders. You know how many NFL fans would love to see their team just in the playoffs? Cowboy fans can't get that. Cowboy fans can't get the number one franchise in the damn league. Imagine that the Cowboys is like the Lakers. They the equivalent to the Lakers or the Yankees. Can you imagine the Lakers going long drought? Boys been able to do? Or the Yankees going long droughts? No, bro. It'll kill the sport. The NFL one of the few sports where the best selling team don't have to win. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta just say, yo, bro, agree. You feel me? So I was like, man, I felt bad for Mike Tomlin because he never had that quarterback he really wanted. You know what I'm saying? He inherited Ben Roethlisberger, and Ben Roethlisberger did his thing, Hall of Fame career. He was a dog. Ben Roethlisberger to me was the best. When I say I don't know what word you would call it, step, and then he throw you off his shoulders. I ain't never seen that. Like Ben Roethlisberger was like a wrestler, wrestling luchadors or something, just throwing dudes off his shoulder. You feel me? And so I say that to say, but toward the end, his critique when Antonio Brown was critiquing Ben Roethlisberger. He like, nigga, you throwing the ball 20 yards ahead of me, and then you looking at us, yelling at us. No, bro, it's you put the ball on the money. And I said that last week about, I forgot who was quarterbacking. I don't know what game that was, But they tried to get at the receiver and said the receiver should have scratched out. I'm like, bro, I forgot it was a balling receiver too, some bum quarterback and a good receiver. I was like, bro, I'm a star receiver and you just give me these random quarterbacks. I'm not finna kill myself over the middle of the field, cutting across. I gotta put my body on the line because you can't put it on the money. Hell no, bro. I ain't going for that. You feel me? Hold up, real quick, y'all. 1 second. All right, boom. So I was like, man, I ain't going for that. So my thing is this, bro. I'm gonna talk about my Raiders eventually, but I just want to make a quick couple of points real quick. So the point why I say the Pittsburgh, not Pittsburgh, but the Jets returner need to be demoted is so he fumbled the rock. You give up the rock, you give up the momentum. Now it's 14 points within a matter of 3 minutes. 14 points in 3 minutes, right? So now he get the ball off a kickoff again. And if you look, this for anybody, go pull this up on YouTube. He run the rock the very same way. Like my whole thing would have been, okay, I need to fair catch this bitch, let it go out the back of the end zone, or I need to have two hands on this bitch. Two hands. I need to be cradling this shit like it's my firstborn. This nigga got out there doing the same shit. And I'm surprised the coach ain't snatch him up right then and there. Hey, bro, go to the shower. Go take a shower, fam. Because you just cost us the game technically. And here you get team guy. You not even know like some receivers can play special teams and shit like that. Some cornerbacks, DBs, whatever, secondary. But dog, you are somebody that don't make no impact on offensive defense. Your pure job is special teams, and you fumble the rock, and then the very next possession, you get out here and do the same thing, playing around with the ball one hand. Revenge, man, it was practically handed. And so now let's move to the Ravens. The Ravens, that happens in sports. That was crazy. That chain of event was crazy because when I went to sleep, I fell asleep on the game. They was up by like they say 15 points. And they just their momentum. They couldn't stop the last king, bro. The last king for a reason, bro. Derrick Henry is a successful jousting fowler. I don't know how many people know about football like that, but Alabama had a running back right after Mark Ingram and after Trent Richardson. He was a fullback, but they let him run the rock. I remember bro with like 6'3", 245, a nightmare to tackle. It was like Brandon Jacobs on steroids. You feel me? It was like Brandon Jacobs meets Ron Dane. You feel me? So man, Justin Fowler was that guy, but it didn't translate when he got in the league. So Derrick Henry, man, this man is a monster. You look at him on the State Farm commercial, the man carrying couches. He's dragging couches, bro. He could drag a trailer. You could just attach a trailer to him. He could get his CDL just with his thighs, bro. So he running through the Bills. Now, my theory is this. I never like to bet against Josh Allen. I never like to bet. Since Josh first playoff run, his first year, I knew bro was gonna be the truth after like his fourth, fifth game, and he went to the playoffs and all that. So my theory is I don't like to bet against Pat Mahomes. I don't like. Let me see. We back. Yeah, we back, man. So boom. Damn, I hope, man, this shit ain't sure. See, y'all don't see how I'm seeing. I'm just seeing myself talk. So I don't get to see like if this bitch got feedback. Cause I did that other day when I was rapping. And I was like, man, when I jumped back on the track, it was all throwed off by the time I came, but I ain't gonna erase that because I know these people be all up in like, I'm the type, when I do this, I don't see no views coming. And then I go back and look at my video, I got like 80 to 100 views, 100 spies, you feel me? That's what this YouTube thing is. That's why I love just the fact of just life and having the life that I've had, you feel me? Where I've had real friends and real people because you get prepared for this social media shit. Like I see a lot of videos often, and I'm gonna talk about sports. I just want to make a quick point. A lot of videos say a lot of people be looking for acceptance. People don't honestly know. I do this to myself, bro. Like I would be sitting around that bit. The greatest conversations I ever had was with myself. You feel me? The greatest questions that somebody ever asked me was with myself. And the greatest answers I ever gave was from questions that I asked myself. So I'm basically doing on a camera what I would be doing if this was turned off. So I would just like anybody ever come across this to know I myself never look for validation or whatever the case may be. You feel me? Because that ain't what it's about. It's like you will barely see. If I was to go to any of these logos and icons, ain't nobody got their face up no more. People got cartoons and characters and fake profiles. It's like we don't live in a world where people can be themselves, you feel me? Like where they can really step out there and be like, you would be surprised if they was like to do like, I don't know how club play, what they call it, Disney Playhouse or Clubhouse or something like that. It's like a something where people can be on multiple videos and whatnot. I don't know if they'll ever put that technology with YouTube, but I guarantee, and I ain't body shaming, but I'm kind of young. If they was ever to put that technology where I could just click on a person profile who come in the room and expose what, but you would be surprised how many people in a wheelchair, how many people got one leg, how many people is morbidly obese, can't get off the couch, how many people texting from under a bridge. And them be the people that be taking styles. You would be surprised the celebrities, the rich people who ain't got none of that going on, but they just have no life. They like I myself, I'm very crafty with words. So when I've came at of people online and with a opposing opinion, and I've had scathing critique, you would be surprised. Them people so petty, they go get on their little fake profile for to say some slick shit. They that petty, they that insecure. So don't ever think like if it's a troll in your comments that troll is just an absolute nobody. The high probability of them being a nobody is very real. But there also is a big probability it's a celebrity that you done said something and offended. And they trying to do the best they can because they can't expose themselves. You feel me? You would drag their career down and embarrass them. So they gotta just be hot in front of, you know what I'm saying? And my whole thing is this. What's I guess the sad part about that, then I'm gonna get back on sports. The sad part about that is I don't harbor no negative feelings about nobody in this world. You feel me? Well, nobody online. I don't harbor no negative feelings about nobody online and in the social media realm and in the public spectrum. You feel me? Like if I critique a person or I get scathing critique, best believe is once I said it, it's done. It's just like crap. You can't put boo boo back into your body. You only gonna come up with new boo boo. But once it's gone, it's out, it's out. So once I say what I got to say, I be feeling good. I feel redeemed. I feel overjoyed because I don't harvest that feeling. If I harbored it, then it's gonna eat me up internally. You feel me? So I get it going and then it's out there. You feel me? So I just say that for all the trolls that come through. Shout out Code EH67, all that. And I'm talking about. And so with that said, moving back to the sports, Baker Mayfield been on fire. I think he gonna have a hell of a year again. See, some people say he gonna be MVP. I think that's a stretch. I can't see. Am I really ready to commit to that? I'm gonna just be honest. I think Baker Mayfield gonna have a great career, but I don't think he's ever gonna have an MVP season because the talent that's ahead of him, that's already in the game, the Patrick Mahomes, the Jalen Daniels, the Josh Allens, and a couple more. That talent is already great. The talent pool that's coming behind him is great. But I don't think Baker is going to be nobody you could just walk up and take his job like they used to when he first came in the league. I think he done found his identity. He done became that great Oklahoma quarterback that he used to be. And that a more advanced version of that quarter. Baker Mayfield is being what Johnny Manziel is supposed to be. Had he not been distracted by the streets and the other parts of life. That's what Baker is being. He's being that scrambling to get out the pocket quarterback. Baker Mayfield is a modern-day Brett Favre, which is a compliment to how far the talent has come because Brett Favre was that guy. But Brett Favre in this new era, shit, we talking about gunslingers. These niggas grew up playing baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so funny because it's so easy to look at a Kyler Murray, right? Since Kyler Murray has been with Arizona, they've been mediocre. You know what I'm saying? The last time they went to the Super Bowl, they had the white guy, I can't think of his name, had a great Hall of Fame career. Was it Kurt Warner that took them? I don't know who took them to the, what's the name, but the bottom line is, but Kyler Murray, you'll say, well, why they ain't got rid of him yet? And then you see Kyler Murray play, you like, this nigga is lethal. He's like a little damn, you remember back in the day, he had a cartoon called Speedy Gonzalez. This man is them little old legs just running all through. He's so damn fast. He can whip the damn ball, sidearm, sidewind, throw it 50-mile-an-hour, you know what I'm saying, 80 miles an hour type shit. And it's like, damn, Jit got talent. What is holding him up? You know what I'm saying? But he's just that. That's what I just say that to say that's the talent. That's the quarterback talent these days is just off the charts. You feel me? And so that's my thinking of that. You feel me? Some people, now while I'm talking about it, because I don't want to reveal no games, so it's kind of hard to talk about the NFL and not read too into, because I don't want to reveal none of my picks. But I want to speak on something like Anthony Richardson. I think Anthony Richardson. I think a team could take a chance on Anthony Richardson to come in and like do something in the middle of the year. They'll make a trade for him. But I think that the coaches need to be prepared to look at, okay, if we do trade for Anthony Richardson, we need to know that he's willing to change positions. You feel me? Like, do he want to save his career? Do he want to hold on to this I'm a quarterback thing? Cause like Anthony Richardson sadly came up under Napier. You feel me? Billy Napier. And Billy Napier is the quarterback ruiner. Like you want to ruin what your chances to be a great life. For instance, we had the number one overall recruit right now playing for University of Florida, and Billy Napier is slow. That was last night, bro. If I banned you, Return to Jesus, you wouldn't be able to talk, my brother. Last night, only reason I did that was because you came in and talk about Return to Jesus, right? And I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about an entirely different subject. But you came in pitching, trying to like divert me off of where I was angling at, right? So then when you found something that you can add on to the conversation, you got on to something totally different. And I was like, wait a minute, bro. How you gonna come in the room? You gotta learn how to come in. But just check me out, my brother. You gotta learn to assess. You know how people say fill the room? You gotta know how to read the room. You feel me? You gotta come in like how right me. I'm talking to you, but it's two other people in here. They reading the room right now. They don't. They just came in here. They don't know what's going on. So they didn't just jump out the gate and just went to texting. They trying to assess whether they're gonna be a troll, whether they just gonna leave, or whether they gonna contribute to the conversation. You came in just blurting out some return to Jesus, go to Jesus, return to Jesus. And then when I mentioned the rapper that you just mentioned, all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, such and such. Bro, you were just telling me to return to Jesus like I was some kind of heathen. And then all of a sudden you went to intertwining with music that don't predicate to actual gospel. So I started looking at you like a phony, bro. And I was like, you know what? I didn't need nothing for my energy last night. I was on my Kevin Gates protecting my energy vibe. So I had to protect my energy last night. But today is a new day. I'm proving right now that what I say is real. What I mean by that is appreciate that. That's all I'm saying, bro. It's like it's a new day. So I don't got no pressure with you, my brother. I ain't gonna just, oh, let me ban this dude like that. First of all, I ain't even got no channel big enough for that. You feel me? I'm humble as hell. You say you like Kirk Franklin. I do. I like. I almost misread the question. Understood it at first. Was thinking you were saying, "Am I like Kirk Franklin?" I love Kirk Franklin music. You know what I'm saying? The music he produced back in the day, or his whole catalog is dope. But Kirk Franklin being like instrumental. And like when I first got into church as a kid, like 6 years old, when it was, and when we crossed that river. Like that was we will lift our hand to Jesus. Like that's the first church God bless his dad, my auntie. You feel me? That was the first church song I ever heard. That and Way in the Water. You feel me? And what's that old school church song? Doctor. Jesus is my doctor. And he writes out all. Anyway, don't get me saying. My point that I'm making is, them was the good old days. And then when I became a teenager and I really had done got into the church, I couldn't get nobody in my family to go to church. I was committed to going myself because life was getting pretty wild. And so I went. And then that was the days of the Hosanna Forever. Like his catalog is bananas. Like he's the Michael Jackson of church music. But I'm just being fair in what I'm speaking. As time, and we all are human. I think now we're starting to see the more humanistic side, which kind of made me feel sad sometimes because I almost feel like Kurt wasn't getting his flowers. So he got on his workout thing. First, it was the jokes people was making. They were like, oh, he looked like Plies, which he do look like Plies. But they was like, he looked like Plies. And then he started getting on his workout and this and that, then this that. But and then like the disciplining his kids, I don't mind that at all. Like that's growing up in the church. That's black. That's what we supposed to do. Guide our kids. I just feel like sometimes, you know what I'm saying, when it seems like a person not getting a flowers, you could kind of lose a little sight. You feel me? Like I just feel too much of like they had him on. I forgot what kind of podcast he was on, but it just seemed like he was the lamb there amongst some wolves. Just being honest, and I was like, dang, cuz it's not a good look for Kurt. But far be it for me to judge because, bro, trust me, like I said, I was a person that went and sat in the front row of church for years. You feel me? And wasn't the greatest person all the time, but I made sure I made the church every Sunday. So that's my opinion, and I do think he represent in his oneself the what the church is, which is people that do fall short of the glory. Saint is nothing but a sinner who falls down. You feel me? And so I understand that, but it's just I don't want to see him as much like I've been seeing him amongst worldly folks like that. Like I want to see him in those same circles that I grew up. Just for I don't know, maybe for my personal consumption of seeing him like that for my whole life, like having almost this halo on him, and now that invincibility is gone, and it seems like they gonna be able to try to make a mockery out of him. Like, oh, look at Kirk up there like this. You know what I'm saying? Like people, I'm gonna tell you, I never took serious. Jesse Jackson. Never took that nigga. I'll never forget Eddie Griffin did a comic thing. He was talking about Eddie Griffin. And he was talking about, I'm not Eddie. Eddie Griffin did a comic thing and he was talking about Jesse Jackson. He said this nigga Jesse Jackson talk all this crap like he wasn't sitting in the back, chugging it up, having a good old nigga time with me. And the problem with folks, like he said, and then Eddie Griffin asked another important question. He said, what church do Jesse Jackson have? I was like, God damn, this nigga calls himself Reverend Jesse Jackson. This nigga ain't got no church. How you a reverend with no church? So I say that to say a lot of people take on names and titles and stuff and they don't do the work of the people, you feel me? So Sion Barry, what it is, man, you say I'm back. I ain't know you love, but love, you feel me? And so my whole thing is, that's my opinion of Kurt Franklin. Y'all ask some more questions, cause I don't scratched it as far as I could give an answer. So my overall opinion of Kurt Franklin, great brother. He's been more of a positive thing by far than a negative element of black culture. If he did nothing else for black culture, he's done enough. It's just for black folks to go back and look at what he did. You know what I'm saying? I might start freestyling on YouTube. Man, hey, don't might do it, man. You know what I'm saying? I think this algorithm thing is like playing the lotto, I suppose. It's like playing like a round. If it catch on and it works for you, but I'm gonna just tell you this: we live in a society where people got a shortment. I think instead of doing freestyles on YouTube, if you do freestyles on YouTube, make videos of it and put it in shorts. Don't do what I'm doing like a live stream. You could be saying the greatest bars. You can have 2,000 bars literally of the greatest notes. And after 100 bars, you're gonna start seeing the views just drop. People don't have that alertness no more. Like I'm from an era where we freestyle on the patio at school, lunchtime. You gonna miss your whole lunch out there trying to freestyle because you can wait to get revered by your, you know what I'm saying, peers of who can rap, who can do. We used to battle each other like on some smack DVD kind of like tape stuff. And we did that on the lunch break. And so, you know, and if you did good, chicks liked you, they gave you the phone number, you know, dudes dapped it up with you. It was good. But these days, you can't, ain't no high school kid can go freestyle on no patio. They gonna be like, man, you trying to make it, you ain't on. This, that, nigga, they wanna know what you doing online. You feel me? We live in a AI world, social media, virtual reality world these days. Well, so, you know, I think if you do it, you just gotta look at how you're gonna format it, how you're gonna approach the game. And that's all this is about, is a game plan, bro. It ain't even about rap skills no more, bro. I see rappers every day. I just seen a rapper respectfully. He had 80,000 likes, which is a lot of likes, because if it got 80,000 likes, that means it got at least be millions of views, right? And he was freestyling for a record label, right? And the this is what every artist got to do at some point. But I just found it comical from the sense that, first of all, I found the fit that he had on comical, and then the second thing I found comical was he's rapping and he's dancing at the same time. And it made me say, he's rapping some gangster stuff and dancing. And I said, man, look, it just reminded me of the shucking and the jiving and like, you just suddenly look what I could do. I could tap dance and sing at the same time. Like, spit your bars. If they like it, they like it. But these days, you got to show, hey, I'm a thug. I can rap. I can sing and I can dance. I got to be everything. No, bro. If you got talent and it's based on talent, be that. Or have a mean marketing plan. That's my ultimate point. A lot of your favorite, or not even your favorite, but the musicians that get played in the cipher over and over, they had a mean marketing plan. And I think, like I spoke on this before, I make it very short. But the mean marketing plan is, if you're a new person starting out and you don't got, like, because people want new faces, right? If you starting out, you gotta start out with not offending nobody. Don't step on no toes. Don't have no major opinions about no politics. Stay out the way. When people ask you them trick questions, and they gonna ask you them trick questions, certain trick questions is, what do you think of Israel? That's gonna be the first trick question. You say, I don't have no opinion. That's what you say. Whenever they say any kind of tricky question to cross you up, I ain't got no opinion. When they ask Lil Wayne, what does he think about Black Lives Matter? Lil Wayne said, what's that? That was with Katie Couric. You feel me? He said, what's that? He know exactly what it is. And I tell people not to put Lil Wayne on blast. Lil Wayne has one of the most black conscience songs you will ever hear in your life. And it ain't for me to even reveal what the song is. I'm going to just simply say he has one. It's on an old mixtape. Let's put it like that. And it's the most black conscious thought songs you ever heard in your life. So Wayne is clearly conscious of his race and who he is and pride of a black. But he also understands marketing. You trying to ask me the trick question when most of my fans who buy all my music and tickets is white. You not finna get me to mess up my pockets, my demographic. Some people will call it sellout. They'll sell out, not understanding the marketing game. In that case, we all sellouts even to a lesser degree, because you go put on a gimmick at when you trying to get a job, and yeah, you put on your suit, your tie, this and that. You withhold certain opinions about things just to keep your regular job. So for millions, you're not willing to just, hey man, I don't know about that. So, it's just, you gotta know what you're entering and what you in it for, you feel me? And like me, I'm damaged goods, you feel me? I done spoke too much opinions on different things for companies. You gotta understand, bro, it's an investment. If I'm gonna invest these $1 million in you, bro, millions of dollars in you, and sponsorships, I need to know you not gonna go off the rails. You gotta walk this thin line where we know what we get day in and day and night. Where you're not gonna get up 2 in the morning and say, man, these goddamn Jewish crackers, man, these goddamn Trump, this, that. You gotta be just as consistent as Charlemagne is on the Breakfast Club. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean consistent. He know what not to say. He'll say a little this and that, and there, but that nigga not finna go off no rails. And now you can invest in this guy. He's a great orator. He know how to make little jokes here and there, placate to his audience, but he know not to damn step on the toes of his sponsors. And this is I'm not making a joke of him. I'm using him as a prime example. If you want to model your career as to what you got to do not to offend nobody. Let's use academics for another example. Academics look at all the little ghetto shit and have the nice little ghetto conversation that's going to entertain the hood. But if you think academics finna start talking about Israel and Gaza war, you can forget about it. That ain't happening. That's above what he would call his pay grade. And that's why he's successful. That's why the greatest podcasters are successful, because they know what lines not to cross. And there are lines, bro. So I just want to let you know, bro, I got nothing but optimism that you're going to do great at what you want to do, as long as you set that mind, your game plan up, bro. Because like these days, we lived in a time back in the 90s where talent mattered. Now it's about having a game plan, executing your game plan, establishing your team around you. Your team, like I've been said back in the, I'm gonna be so real. My big brother used to manage my Facebook, right, back in the days, like my music Facebook. It was some page, I don't know what he did, but the point is, when I managed it and I call myself this real, real. When I managed it, people that I really knew and all that was on my page, on my friends list, I probably averaged like 4, 5 likes, right? That was at the most. My brother, who don't even do social media, never had a social media in his life, he said, man, let me manage your page. You too emotional. You too erratic. Man, that man started managing my page. I started getting 30 likes each. There's a minimum of 30 likes. And I was like, what? It was so confusing. I thought people like genuine and, authenticity. Hell no. Nah. People like not to get offended. You gotta you gotta massage egos out here. And everybody got an ego who financially over you. They all got an ego that you gotta brush, not to offend them. So, and it's also 48 laws of power. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, this, that, and such and such. So they feel like you listen to certain people how they be talking. I made you. Made what, nigga? Came on mama coochie. Niggas think they made niggas out here. The niggas that really think they made. Oh, I put you on. No, nigga, who put you on, buddy? Nigga, come on, God put me on, fam. So, but this is the egos that we got out here. If you don't hype niggas, like every nigga say they don't want a yes man, they want a yes man. They want a yes man. Try standing up to them niggas enough. Or you tell them nah, nah. Trust me, I was always that kind of guy. I used to get jumped a lot. Bitch, I got like I always like that Fat Joe part and lean back. He said every nigga in my clique got a scar on their face. Bitch, I got scars and scars and scars and scars. Did a lot of had a hard life coming up. And it was all because of this right here. Yeah, I was gonna be me. That's why I say before this social media YouTube came out, I was popping my shit, being honest. And certain real niggas loved it. But then when I say certain, when I say that's giving too much credit. 1 out of 1,000 real niggas that actually want that kind of nigga around them. And that'll be the coolest one, the one that your friend for life. But all them 999 niggas, they gonna talk to the other nigga because they gonna be scared to fight you. We finna jump this pussy ass nigga. And you lucky you don't get your ass whacked these days, because that was those days when niggas was least jump you. They show, I call it respectful. They respectfully jumped you rather than just killed you. So, you know what I'm saying? And being jumped is obviously disrespectful, but still, they at least jumped you. These days, you get whacked for having an opinion in your own clique. So, I'm just simply saying, bro, you got to know how to play the game, bro. Just play the game. That's all you got to do, and you can have a great whatever you do in life. It ain't just rapping. It's in the professional world. I cook bacon, and this shit got these Western. I got to turn this fan on, bitch. So, it's in the professional world, bro. Whatever you do in life, bro, you just got to know, cuz, just don't step on the wrong, don't step on the wrong toes coming up in the game, because we live in a world with fragile ego guys that got power. You feel me? And they're bad. They bosses. Please don't sign that nigga. Like, what kind of nigga do that if you really think about it? And it's supposed to be about sports. And then I'm gonna get ready to watch my 5 o'clock news. So, but this, I just want to make that point real quick. We got gangsters that'll call other niggas and beg these niggas not to mess with you. Like, I'm from an era where, and my dog did one of the coolest things for me back in the day. That nigga said, bro, don't fuck with my little brother. He a fuck nigga. His own little brother, the nigga said don't fuck with him. And what I end up doing? Fucking with his little brother and almost getting whacked. Way back in the days. And all I could think about was this nigga kept it real. He said don't fuck with my little brother. He a fuck nigga. Niggas don't do that shit. That's when niggas kept it real. And that's when niggas told you who not to fuck with, for this shit can actually cost you your life type shit. But these days, these niggas just try to starve you out. They try to starve you out. They say, man, don't fuck with him, man. Don't get no money with that nigga. Don't this, that, that. That's not cool, bro. And I ain't talking about who y'all might think a nigga talking about, because, like, everybody do it. Everybody do it. All your favorite rappers have blocked another rapper from coming up in the game. I heard Fat Joe, was Fat Joe talking about it? Because Fat Joe was being real. Nah, he was being real on that time. Fat Joe was talking about a nigga he did it to. And then it happened to him by a bigger nigga. And so he was like, it's all fair because he did it. So all your favorite rappers and all your favorite musicians and whatever, they done blocked the next talent from, like, bro, I've been on Facebook this morning listening to all these beautiful women sing. Bro, it's some of the most beautiful singing women you never heard. And I say never heard because you ain't going to never hear them, because they might not be willing to get on that casting couch. So you not going to hear them. You got to think sometimes these people that being pads on, came up doing like this and shit. You feel me? Like you gonna be in that nigga position. So don't be trying to like, oh man, thinking shit is the worst and this. Nah, brother. Just know your time will come and set up a mean game plan, bro. Stay neutral and you good. So what other football teams doing their thing? Michael Penix Jr. Michael Penix, I'm glad he got the actual starting spot. That Kirk Cousins shit was a waste of money. Like these teams be just throwing away money. And they just like that was they you knew you were gonna draft Michael Penix, you feel me? Like that was just I guess I could kind of understand the logic if you thought Kirk Cousins was gonna be your starter and you was gonna be able to groom Michael Penix like Jordan Love was groomed under Aaron Rodgers, like Aaron Rodgers was groomed under Brett Favre, then I can understand the logic. But I just think that was just too much money thrown at him when you could have just went ahead and drafted Michael Penix, threw him in the fire, gave him some raw receivers, a raw O line, and somebody on defense to get at that quarterback. You feel me? Like when I look at a team these days, I look at who they got on their defensive ends, what kind of pressure do they cause, because it ain't all about just getting sacks, but I need this quarterback to be under duress the whole game, because most quarterbacks, some quarterbacks can't think when they under duress. They make the most foolish Derek Carr picks you ever seen. So I think when I'm looking at a team, I'm not necessarily looking at the O-line, because if the quarterback can get the rock out there and the O-line can do a decent enough job, everybody's sufficient enough. You feel me? Only O-line I would have ever judged is the Cowboys. I would be like, okay, that O-line deserved credit from back in the days when Dak first got there. Bro, you got the best O-line in probably NFL history, and you still throw a pick. You overthrow. So it's like the receiver. Tony Romo had so much time in the pocket. The receiver ran the full damn route. Now this nigga is tired. He trying to run extra shit. You feel me? So it's like when I look at a team, though, I'm looking at the quarterback. I'm looking at the coach. I'm looking at how did this quarterback respond to certain defensive sets. You feel me? Is he the type that can really sit back and pick you apart? Is he the type that just get to the huddle? He don't change shit up. He don't make no pre-snap audibles. He just looking and shit like that was Peyton Manning most best greatest ability was pre-snap count. He looking over the O-line. That was the most intimidating shit. Like think about it. The middle linebacker, like to me, when I think about classic middle linebackers, is Ray Lewis and it's Jonathan Vilma. You feel me? Like Jonathan Vilma probably one of the smartest middle linebackers ever. You feel me? Wasn't the most athletic, wasn't the physically most biggest, but Jonathan Vilma knew exactly what the offense was trying to do. And so he just quarterbacking. Like you look at Jonathan Vilma, it's a work of art. It's almost like looking at the defensive Peyton, man. He's out there calling that shit. As you doing your audible adjustments, he audibly, hey, you get over here, this, that, oh, this is coming this way. You stay up top. Oh, you come down, this. And so it's like no pre-snap adjustments matter. And if you got a guy that don't make those, then depending on the scheme of the defense, I'll be looking at that type of stuff when I'm trying to decide who gonna win the game and stuff like that. So I look at the receivers, just one and two. You feel me? I look at the tight end. Really, sometimes it don't even matter about just two receivers because the tight end could just be the second receiver. So I'm looking at the receiver, at least one receiver. At least I'm looking at the tight end. I'm looking at the running back. I'm looking at just basically his average though, because these days running backs don't get enough attempts to be over 100 yards a game. So I'm looking at his average, and then I'm looking at them defensive ends. You feel me? Now obviously the secondary matter. You feel me? If the secondary ain't got a name that I could just come up with offhand, I'm a little skeptical, and I'm like, ugh, because a bad secondary, I don't care how good your defense is, you finna get wrecked. And so that's that. So who else? I talked about the Falcons. I think Jets is gonna be decent this year. Like I said, they had that damn dude make that horrible play on special teams, but their coach is pretty solid, man. I hope they give Buddy a long shot at things, not just this year, but next year. They gave Adam Gase a chance. Adam Gase, the worst coach in NFL history, in my opinion. Adam Gase is the Billy Napier of NFL. Billy Napier is the worst college football coach. Let's talk about the Gators these last 5 minutes. Freaking Billy Napier inherited the Gators, and it was like giving a guy who only drove a peso, or let me say something that y'all might know, a Geo Metro. Y'all probably don't even know what Geo Metro is. It's like giving the guy who had a scooter his whole life a car, and his first damn car is a McLaren. You feel me? Like you just gave this guy a McLaren or a Tesla. Just call it Tesla for the jits that understand the Tesla. You just gave this guy the fastest Tesla. This shit goes up to 200 miles an hour, and the fastest thing he ever drove went up to 30 miles an hour. You're gonna make this guy crash, and that's what the Gators are doing. They put Billy Napier in charge of a team with a bank account 50 times the school he came from. He came from a Mac, what do they call it? Mac conference, or not even a Mac conference, Sun Belt. This bitch came from the Sun Belt conference. Florida Gators endowment. Literally, the Florida Gators endowment is probably the entire Sun Belt conference. That's all the schools that they got, 12 schools, 14 schools. You put them all together, that's the Florida Gators endowment. And now you got them with all this money, all this talent, rich Florida, rich Florida, rich. I'm talking about not only financially rich, but rich in athletes. And he don't know what the hell to do with it. He ain't got the staff to put in place. Like I was saying earlier before somebody took me off the conversation, DJ Ladway, his development is so stunned right now, bro. DJ Ladway from his first game when Billy didn't even want to put him in. Billy had some trash ass quarterback in because he's a horrible talent evaluator. I think we were going redshirt Ladway, but then all the quarterbacks got hurt. So damn, they throw Ladway in just all pure talent. This ain't no Billy Napier coaching. This is just pure talent. Bitch, Ladway gunning that bitch. It remind me of the first time Jacoby Brissett got through in the game. When Jacoby Brissett came out of Dwight High School in Palm Beach. When Jacoby Brissett got through in, it was through in against Alabama. Nigga, Jacoby jumped in that pocket through like a 50-yarder. And I was just popping my shit because we was already getting beat down. And we ended up scoring on that drive. I said, yeah, what we finna do, I think. And then after that, we proceeded to get crushed. And I think even Jacoby Brissett might even got hurt. But the point is, we had nobody to develop him. That was just pure talent. He had to wait to get to the league to develop. That's why Jacoby Brissett. Matter of fact, Jacoby Brissett didn't have to wait to get to the league. He transferred to NC State, balled out at NC State. So that means NC State had better coaches. And one can argue NC State always had better quarterbacks than Florida. For the last, since I was down in 19. So for 20 years, NC State been having better quarterbacks than Florida, in my opinion. Yeah, we done put guys in the league because off of pure talent. That's why I say Anthony Richardson off of pure talent is a NFL quarterback, but he hasn't got developed. Ain't no coach could take the credit for Anthony Richardson making it to the league. He was gonna make it regardless. He was that good. DJ Ladway going regardless. So it's just the fact that I hate to see they growth stunted when they could just be the man coming out of college, but we ain't got the coaches in position, and we got too much narcissism going on where they don't want to fire guys. You couldn't do certain things like this at Ohio State and Michigan and all the renowned universities in Alabama. They put you on the hot seat. They ready to blow all that money and say, you out of here. Here we is riding out, do or die with a Sun Belt coach. We the new Vandy of the East. We the new Vandy of the SEC. We the Florida Commodores, bitch. Anyway, hey, y'all take care. This was beautiful. I like this little sports cast. This is what I'm gonna try to keep this shit on these friendly notes on sports and not let people that come in the room divert me because I fall for it every time. That part. Love.